Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Sam D1 and today I'll be telling you about the scripts I mainly developed to write Celestic Warriors The Origins, which was my original first story that I already mentioned. So if we talk about the script, I already narrated a bit from the first part. You can probably understand it's technically the introduction part. And well, it basically features Tim's part of being the Solar Warrior. And basically the first parts are mainly there for the development. I mean, it's like Tim battling some monsters for improving his fighting skills, for development of Solar Warrior, or at least the way you can see him as a savior. So basically the first part represents the adaptability and development of Solar Warrior. And well, he will also like Steam character, interesting, and he's obviously a bit funny. So well, then later on, the battle against Lunar Warrior will be the first interesting part. That would be the most interesting part, let me just say. And it will probably happen in somewhere in these parts. And that also feature the introduction of Jim. You later on also get that in these parts. And those parts are quite interesting, let me just say. Jim arc is especially very interesting. Let me just say, if you would manage to get to this arc, you had actually read pretty good amount of the story. I mean, if you actually want to comment about Celestic Warriors, you have to at least reach these two arcs. If you manage to reach these two arcs and finish finished up till these two arcs, I would say you have the right to comment, because yeah, this is where the real beginning starts. I mean, yeah, from here on out you can say that story actually gets pretty interesting. I mean, you like it very much from here. These are the parts specifically. But yes, again, all of these parts are pretty interesting in its own way. But the only problem is this Cannibal Deadbeat arc. The problematic part is mainly the fact that he's a bit disturbing for some viewers, and according to my scripts I wanted to include a disturbing character. So it basically depends on how your mindset is, and I guess the main fact is no one dies though, which is a spoiler, so you could be assured to read it. It was a spoiler though, I spoiled a lot, I guess. Anyways, next is Tails arc. Well, in this arcs, Yamark arc and this entire arc, let me just say, was not really in my scripts. I didn't really plan on including these arcs. I just planned to directly jump to Grand Wars and Dark Void arc and ending it with Lunar Warrior, the finale. Basically, that was on my script. Now, why I really included it? Well, the fact was, I actually introduced some more characters, and let me just say they didn't really got that much screen time when I actually scripted it. And how did they actually know? Well, I also got the help of AI. AI told me that they are not really getting that much screen time. So basically, on the suggestion of AI, I tried to give them more screen time, and that's where AI really works out pretty well. For that reason, I created these arcs, and yeah, these arcs are pretty interesting, and it actually shows development of other characters who also becomes a part of the story. And Grand Works are, let me just say, what I did was just develop it far better. I mean, according to my scripts, I just made the story far better. I added obviously the fact is it's quite lengthy, that would be a big problem, but And specifically these two arcs are the best. Let me just say the final villain, you'll like it. The final fight, it's pretty good and it's pretty emotional. You have got bonding, emotion, the feeling of togetherness all together, and you definitely have to read it. Let me just say, I cannot really spoil much, and there are also well, I won't spoil much. The fact is, it's interesting. That's all I can say. I cannot really say much here. As you can see, you can understand my position here. Huh. So, and if you by any chance manage to finish it, you definitely like to check out the next one, which is Celestic Warrior or Warriors. I mean, you will obviously want to check that out if you actually manage to finish the entire. Another thing that I want to describe is a minor detail. Let me just say, the minor detail is the skin tone is the only one that really didn't match with my description. AI did almost everything correct, but the only fact is the skin color. Let me just say, Tim's skin color would be lighter, and Ray's skin color would be darker. That's what I would want to add. If any of you just sort of do it according to my descriptions, I'll be pretty glad though. Though I will myself try to make a better representation of them. And you can also follow me on Pinterest. I recently created an account there. I'll be trying to post some better images if I can. That is, it's obviously pretty tough to make new images. Like what happens is when I create an image, it sometimes doesn't really go out of my description. Like you can have one thing right and the other thing just doesn't. So it's quite tough to. It's quite a trial and error method. So well, it's just based on if I can make or not. That's really depends. Also, I don't have any subscriptions, so it's a big problem for me. But yeah, if I get your support, I guess many things can happen. My original goal was definitely to make it an anime, but it's obviously not possible. So at least I tried to make it a story. At least I wanted to give it some life, and probably it could live as a story. That's better, I'd say. I mean, that's what I can actually do. That's the maximum I can do. And I'm really glad. And if you read it and if you like it, then please let me know in my YouTube channel. You may comment it in any of my videos, in any one of my narration videos. You may comment. I'll definitely read it. Or you may even comment on my stories. I mean, you can also comment by parts. So obviously it's pretty easy, right? So anyways, and if you follow me, you can even get updates about me. It depends on you though. Anyways, so what I'm gonna say is, well, I will hope to see you all in the next video. And I'll be very glad if you actually read the entire story. I'll be much more glad. You can imagine what would be my reaction if you like read the entire story. I just can't. I just won't be able to believe. So anyways, a lot of drama, I guess. We'll see you all in the next video.